Hello again YouTube, and welcome back to the Sumner Speed YouTube channel. My name's Ian Sumner, and today we are back at Three Sisters for another track attack, but this time with the Retrobeutes Car Club. Must say there was some absolutely incredible cars on display at this for the show and shine. Not everything was out on track, unfortunately. Some of them I would have loved to see go full send. If you look for a channel called Heath's Workshop, they already have a video up of some of the calibre of classics that were out on show, and it was really just a great day out for everyone. The weather was good. We're just in the R56 Mini One 1.4 absolute standard car again. Still getting ready for a season of 1400 sprint class racing this year, but Southport Sprint did not happen on the 28th of March as had been planned. It is now postponed until, I believe it will be sometime in October. My nephew Lewis also had a race at PFI on this same weekend. You can go and check out the Kart Championship YouTube channel to see how that went in senior road tax. And we're just still on a warm-up lap following this blue BMW, is it? Yeah. And I'm sure he'll be gone as soon as we pass a post that doesn't have a yellow flag waving at it. This is the first time that I've actually done this particular layout of the circuit. These corners, 1 and then 2, which we've just been through, and then what will be 3, 4 and 5 is a chicane that we're approaching now, is all new to me. Normally we do a slightly different layout for both karts and track attack. Luna is the same as it will always be, and it will always be a challenge to get every little bit of time that we can out of it. I think we just passed a marshal's post that didn't have a yellow flag waving, so we're now starting to push a little bit. I didn't have a lap time when running for this session, but I did for the other 2 sessions. My best time of the day came right at the end, which was 74 seconds. Just being careful around that section there, as I had been used to driving it at night with no floodlights, and yeah, that's generally where you want to be quite careful at night. So I did later find that turning in late for that first turn that we'd just been through was massively beneficial. And then this turn 2 here, it was so easy to just understeer on entry with the way that you are then pointing uphill. It just immediately if you're carrying too much speed into the entry of that corner, it just immediately punishes you with scrubbing an absolute load of speed off with understeer. And yeah, just getting a lot to figure out in that section, where to power on and off through the chicane also, and obviously this section here, getting used to the daylight and the dry, which was very different to last time. Golf goes on by here, indicators letting past. It's generally the order of the day is to let anyone quicker past, and in fairness to the old Mini, it's I think it holds reasonable pace around here, and we don't get past too much considering the level of performance cars that are out on track. Later in the video I have given a passenger ride to a lad that's been helping me out with various bits and bobs with in the garage, the Subaru and Mini, and yeah, just generally really nice lad named Ollie Malinowski, who's the reigning lightweight British indoor karting champion, as it happens, not really seems to like telling people very much. And yeah, his dad just put the feelers out to see if anyone had any cars that he could get some practical experience working on. And gotta say, he's really coming on great in the smattering department. Yeah, starting to carry some really good speed through that section now. Some of the cars are absolutely unreal. I've never seen a couple of them in the flesh before that day. Yeah, it was just made me feel like these kind of events are the absolute future of car meets, because you know, you go to even a well organised, committed meet, and it's no revving, no this, no that, you know, you go to this and there's people sending it sideways around nearly every corner just for a laugh, you know what I mean? You know, it's just so great to go to a car event where cars can be actually enjoyed by whoever wants to enjoy them, and I think there's a lot to be said for that. Okay, there was some expense involved compared to just rolling up and parking up in a car park, but look at what you get in return: access to a circuit, amazing. For the level of experience that was out on track, I'd say everyone was really well behaved and stuff, you know. There was no real major incidents or anything. A couple of mechanical problems and stuff, but no one had anything major bad happen. Yeah, notable cars that were out on track. Red Volvo Estate, brilliant, love to see it. A proper old school 80s, 90s mum car. The green Skyline, who was absolutely just sending it sideways round Luna and bouncing it off the limiter, just brilliant. Even doing rolling anti-lag on his cool down lap, which was great. Smoky GR Yaris has just gone past. He was smoking a lot. Not quite sure what's going on there. I think maybe you do an oil change, mate, or something. Ollie was kind enough to help me do an oil change on the Mini the night before we came down to this, and it ran flawlessly all day, absolutely flawlessly. I've got a new set of brakes that I'm going to fit before the competition season, and my idea was that I would do this event just to get some use out of what's, you know, there's still quite a lot left to use on this set of brakes, so yeah, I'll just get a bit of use out of them on a nice fun day out. I think the way the GoPro captures the sky here is absolutely incredible. I mean, it just looks so big because it's just, I don't know, there's no buildings around or anything to obscure it, I guess. It just looks so great. White BMW has disappeared as quickly as he appeared, but considering it's only a little circuit, we're not getting past too often, so we're still putting in some good laps and some good learning as I move over again for the blue BMW that we were following at the start. So we're officially being lapped by those guys now. I mean, an R8 versus 1.4 Mini One standard. It's quite obvious who's going to win out of those two, isn't it? But you know, we're making good pace. We're having fun. That's the important thing. And in terms of bang for buck, this car, in terms of the fun I've had in it, the places I've been in it, just, you know, every day to take the dog out for a walk, to go to the shops, and it's just just a really cool little car, I've got to say. I was never a big fan of the new Minis back in the day. Used to say a BMW Mini is not a real Mini. But to me, a real Mini is something that's cheap, something that's going to not cost a lot to run, not cost a lot in parts. It's going to be reasonably easy to work on yourself. And for me, this car represents all of that. So yeah, it has become a real Mini over time, I think, in terms of the price they can be bought for and the price of the parts, etc, etc. Noticeable mentions from the show and shine were the black Celica GT4, which had a good natter about my previous Celica ownership with that guy, and Lotus Cortina Mark II was really nice. Had a chat with that guy about my Lotus Cortina obsession, and the yellow GT40 was absolutely really nice. Whether it was a continuation car or what, I'm not sure, but it was so tidy. And also, last but not least, got to mention the fact that first time ever seeing one in person, an RS200 was there. What an incredible machine. There was also some cool Lotuses, a nice red VX220. Always got a soft spot for the VX220, just like, I love Lotuses, and the VX220 is kind of like a Lotus in disguise, which is cool to me. So I think that I might be slowing to let someone past here, although I'm not sure. No, just check the flag there. And here we are on the session with Ollie, so you might hear us talking in the background from the onboard camera. And we do actually manage to pass and pace with some cars in this session, but we also strangely have two red flags, the first of which is about to come right away before we even get to green. Now, none of us were really too sure at the time, we spoke with another driver on the grid, as to what had caused this, but we found out later that this was due to some random kids being on the track. So if they were your kids, well done. I hope that they went without any treats for a little while after this, because that's just done, isn't it? Kids just climbing over fences to get beyond live racetracks. It's not a smart move, especially when they had such a big area to play in general, and that was obviously a certain amount of freedom they'd been given. Anyway, I'm sure the parents were doing their best. This blue MX-5 keeps checking out, and there was a Cooper behind us that was swerving like mad on this outlet, and I could not wait to let him go. Yeah, that was exactly what I was saying there. And Ollie had not a lot to say about his first passenger ride out in a car. I think, a bit of a racing driver, so he just wants to be driving the car ideally. So we all roll around expecting to go green, and we're on a red flag, so it takes a minute to get rolling again, which we will be doing shortly. These times when we were waiting in the pit lane or waiting on the grid, all I wished was that we could see over the wall to see what cars were about, because there was some really interesting and nice stuff about everywhere that you could look. There was something interesting. Oh yeah, another noticeable mention about cars that were out on track was the white Mark II RS2000 badged Escort that was actually a Cosworth Turbo 2-litre powered car. That was being driven very exuberantly indeed and was great fun to watch. And out of all of the cars that I would like to have driven on track that were there that day, I would like to say that one over everything really. Just looked like the most fun, and everyone says Mark II Escort handling is just spot on. I know that my Mark VI back in the day was, yeah, for a standard car it was up for being thrown about. So yeah, finally we are green, I think, as cars are disappearing in front of us. And we're just moving over to let someone pass here. White BMW. Ooh, and a Type R who looked like he got a bit close, but it didn't feel like it at the time particularly, got to say. Felt alright. So, yeah. We're now starting to send it a little bit more. I'm not sure exactly when it will have happened in the first session, but I really ate shit on this corner a few times on entry, just trying to carry too much entry speed and then just understeering really badly. And it doesn't look too much like it on video, but it actually goes up quite a steep little hill, and yeah, basically to get up the hill you need to be on the power, and obviously you're not going to be on the power if you're just ploughing along with understeer. So that's still one that I'm trying to get right, and I'm sure that come sprint practice time, when I start crunching some data and things like that, that it will become a bit more easy to manage. I do think this is when we're about to get red flags again.
More grip than seat in this car, man. Holding myself into the car more.
Yeah, that is a really good point. The standard seats in this car do not have any kind of real bolster to them. They're just standard seats. They're not sports seats in any way. So the fact that it's actually got a reasonable amount of grip means that you're holding yourself in your car in the seat quite significantly. Yeah, maybe look at getting something approved for the sprint thing, but in reality, do I want to be having bucket seats every day for going to the shops in this car? Not really. So yeah, it's probably just going to have to be a compromise that I'll live with, and it'll certainly be a lot less expensive than buying some approved seats, because those are the only modifications that you're allowed to make in the sprint production class, is to have approved safety gear, basically, which seats would be counted as that. Here we are, we're red flagged here, and we're about to line up behind Saya. I have to cut this out for your enjoyment, to not have to wait on the grid with us. It was quite a bit of time. Did line up with some nice cars though.
You're on for a good time then, there's a lot of feel in your bones. You can't
Yeah.
well good speed on.
It was a better lap time, that was. That was what I was saying there. And we're off again. And I don't think we ever managed to lose this Seat for the rest of the session. So I'm just going to let you enjoy the footage. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, please come back anytime you see us post a video on the Sumner Speed YouTube channel. where we don't know what we're doing, but we know that we're doing it. Alright, in a bit. Cheers.
Oh my god, we're catching people, bro. No, no.